Hey guys, welcome back. It is Eric from Eric's World here, back with another video. Today I'm going to be showcasing my large-scale castle MOC, which is actually going to be called the Blue Lion Knights Kingdom Defense at Brick Fair, Virginia 2019. They're going to be defending against the Green Dragon Knights, which are currently residing here in this front section of the MOC. So this MOC took me around 2 months and 20 days, 20 odd days, off and on to build completely. I believe it's over 30,000 parts. The blue section of the water snot technique here is over 4,000 parts, consisting from this side all the way over to that side. So I believe with that and everything else that you can kind of see, and things that you can't see underneath the MOC, which are the supports and such, should point to this being over 30,000 parts. So I'm very excited to go through this MOC. It has been a long while getting this ready, and I'm super excited to finally get it out there to you guys. So we're going to start off in the front section here where the invading Dragon Knights are coming in, but we'll first actually look at this. We have Eric's World with a YouTube logo here, which I tried my best with to make that triangle, but Eric's World right there. So you will see that at Brick Fair, Virginia. You'll come here and you'll see, oh, hopefully they read that off saying Eric's World, so that's great. But we have a catapult here, a large catapult that I built pretty quickly to kind of get that in here for some of the front sections here, which have actually 5 destroyed yellow buildings, which are houses in a way, so villager houses that would live here in this little kingdom village section. So yes, we have 5 buildings here. Catapult took out a few of the front buildings, and then we have a smaller catapult over there. And we also have a lot of foliage throughout this front little section. We have a hill right here and a smaller hill on that other side. And we have tons of soldiers coming up and trying to pressure the Blue Lion Knights defense as best as possible to get their way into the city or into the village and take over the kingdom. So we can look at this front section here. We have a little bit of a resistance on this side, and this is the farm area. So we have a custom-made barn that has some Easter eggs in it. We have the old yellow castle micro scale in there, and also Easter eggs around the whole castle, actually, the whole build at least. There's 31, I believe, Easter eggs. I'm not sure if you'll be able to spot them all, but if you just see a lot of little white spots everywhere, those are the Easter eggs. And then over here we have the wheat fields, and I'd say potatoes and carrots or something like that on this side. And then we have our farmer over here on his buggy, and he's got hay in the back, and he's taking pictures of the people looking at the MOC, because this is actually a sig fig, and the sig figs in this MOC are actually from the future and coming back into the past and occupying this village. I wanted to have sig figs included into this MOC, so I thought that would be the best story plan for it to kind of explain. So back here we have the stables, and we have 4 horse stalls in there, and you can see all the detail I included in there. And then over here we have the storage room, or storage house in a way. None of these buildings you're actually able to get into other than look through the library, because the type of parts I had available for this MOC weren't really the best. So sadly I wasn't able to make anything modular other than viewing into the library and viewing into the keep section, which we'll get on to later. Over here we have the inn. It is a pretty large inn, probably the largest building in this MOC. You can see it's 2 stories, and it also has the marketplace behind it. And you can see that back here. Let me move the light over so you can get a better view. It is abandoned at this moment because we have a war going on, so or a battle at least. So that is the look of that, but we got tons of food in the marketplace, and there's a couple stalls over there. And then as we look over here to the right, we have the pub here, as you can kind of see. There's the front look, we have the side, and then the back side. And then we do have the library right next to it. Show you the front before I get into the back section. So we have a couple flags up front, and we have a couple Easter eggs actually on top of it as well. We have the door down there leading inside, and if we come around, we can see inside we have a bunch of books. And let me create the light 1 second. Okay, so here is the inside with better lighting. So we have tons of books all along the walls here. As you can see, there's even more into there on that corner bit, and there's nothing over to the left. We just have the staircase inside this little section leading up to the top floor. This top section here, which is the roof, was a pain to build, and I'm hoping that it will be okay to transport. But let me get off the light and head over to the next section. And then right next to the library we have the bakery. So this is where all the goods of bread and whatever you would have in a medieval village be made. And that is that. Go into the back section so you can see what is going on back there. So that is the back of the building, and we have a bunch of soldiers coming through this back end, flanking around and trying to attack all the villagers on this side. Next to it we have the blacksmith. So the blacksmith is actually interesting because it is right between two base plates. So I had to build it in such a way that I could easily separate it, and I'm hoping that I didn't do it wrong when building it. Hopefully it does not come apart and break apart and I'll have to rebuild it. So fingers crossed that that's all good. But it's kind of hard to see the front door of the bakery. But yes, that is the bakery. And then we can head over into the castle now. So we have actually a drawbridge, which is actually facing the wrong way. If you would want a drawbridge to protect the castle, you would have that here on this side to have that brought up. And originally I did not want to have a drawbridge in this MOC, but it was actually the only option in a way for two base plates. So right here, as you can see, that little crease is two different base plates. So in order to make the bridge kind of work, I had to have a drawbridge. So my good friend Brick by Brick, which is his sig fig, is the one operating the drawbridge, and also the one that kind of designed the drawbridge in a way in this Lego form. And as we move over to the left, we have the main gate for the castle. And here we have the working portcullis, which I can drop with my channel sig fig. Just in case any of the bad guys come too close, I can lower down the portcullis and protect everyone that's inside the castle. And as we move our way inside, we can see all the sig figs rushing in the doors and running up the ramp to the far side, because there are 3 layers to this build. We have the ground floor, which is the gateway, and then we have the church level and the barrack level, which is over and under the keep, and then we have the top section, which is the walls and the keep of this build. So as we can make our way over, we see a large amount of soldiers, archers, or crossbowmen in a way, getting ready to fire upon the enemy across the way. And we have a little tower over here with a couple more crossbowmen and a mini catapult. And if we move our way over here, we have a weapons rack, and we also have another catapult on this far side. And we have a staircase that does lead up to this top level. And then we can make our way down this wall section for more weapons racks and some more soldiers on the wall here. And let's get a better view of this side so you can see everything. We have also a couple sharks in the water here and some rock placements. I did want to have a boat in here, but I do not have enough parts for that. I kind of ran out of parts because I did get around 100 pounds of Lego at Philly Brick Fest, and I used all that to kind of build my MOC. And then we can make our way over here into the church. It is like the Eye of Sauron for my stained glass window because of the type of parts I had available for it. So that kind of stinks, but yeah, it does its part. The church is pretty decent. I wish I had some other colors for it, but yeah, I am pleased with the result for it actually. Here is the back section. It is actually pretty dark on this side, so I apologize for that. I don't have any lighting on the far side of my basement room, but we have a nice wall section on this far side. Most of it is a rock feature, so the bottom bit is all the rock work moving its way over, and then we have this far rock section that moves its way up into the keep section. And then we can move on into the third floor now, which will lead us up into the keep. And the keep is at least 3 levels. It's got the main section for the throne room, which we'll go into now. So here is the throne room. As you make your way through the portcullis, you can come into the first, I guess, yellow room, and then the throne room. The throne room is pretty nice. We have the king in there, if I can get a good view of him, with his nice throne room or throne chair, where he sits and rules his kingdom. He's got some good solid soldiers in there. The elite. We have at least 4 elites inside the throne and 2 on the outside. We also have some knights flags out front as well. But that is the throne room. We can make our way down here into the barracks section, which has a couple beds for soldiers to sleep while they're off shift. And then we also have some weapons racks. We have 2 sets of spears right here. And then we can make our way into the armory, which has spears in the back, swords on the side down here, and spears in the center. There's also a way to get from the front bit of the castle, if I can focus, there you go, to the back section, which the armory is held. There's also a staircase over here in the back, leading up to the 2nd floor for the barracks. Down here we have the dungeon, which is very dark, but it has 2 of the enemy soldiers in it. We have one in a little jail cell over there to the right, and one hanging by his arms, and some skeletons as well. And also behind the throne room we have a door, which you can't see anymore, which is back there, that leads to the gold room. Tons of gold from the king, his personal collection. Here is also the last section, which is the top floor of the keep, which is like the meeting area for some soldiers and such. And we have a couple soldiers on watch duty on this far side above the portcullis. And then on top of that is the extra watchtower that can oversee the whole village, or the whole kingdom in a way, from this vantage point. So you can see, if you'll focus, there you go. You have a good look on the main landscape of the battle from that position. And then we have some nice detail on top of this with some flags and such. So this MOC is 41 inches wide and 72 inches long. So this is going to be a pain to travel with, but the lucky thing is all this comes apart easily, other than one section, sadly, with these 2 buildings here that I accidentally built on 2 base plates. So that's the only section that's going to be a pain, but the rest of this will be super easy to kind of get into my vehicle. So that's great. And the plus side is I actually have like 5 base plates that are just water, so those sections will come off pretty easily as well. But that is everything, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.